Did you know that, in the countryside of Purana, there's a house where sound simply doesn't come back? People call it the house without echoes. It was built in 1973 by a man named Jair Fonseca, a retired acoustic engineer who, ironically, spent the last years of his life obsessed with perfect silence that he used to say that sound trapped things. For a long time, I thought it was just a local legend. But last month, I went there, and what I found still haunts me every night. That it all started when a friend of mine, a journalist, asked for my help with a story about haunted buildings in southern Brazil. That I didn't believe in those tales, but I always liked mystery. The house stood at the end of a dirt road, surrounded by tall pine trees that blocked out the light even during the day. The gate was locked with chains, but there was a hole in the fence, big enough for us to squeeze through. Inside, the air felt thick as if each step absorbed the sound. Not even the leaves made noise. The facade was simple, but something was wrong with the geometry. Windows in different positions from where they should be inside, and a side door that led nowhere. That we entered through the main room, and that's when we noticed. There was no echo, not even the faintest. That I clapped my hands. Nothing, the sound simply died in the air, as if swallowed. My friend Julia recorded everything. But in the audio, her voice sounded muffled, distant, and mine didn't appear at all. On the second floor, there were 3 doors. The first led to an empty bedroom, with walls covered in a dull, gray paint. The second, to the bathroom, but the third was locked. Behind it came an almost imperceptible sound, like a whisper, or maybe, breathing. Julia pressed her ear against the wood and turned pale. "There's someone in there," she whispered, but her voice came out weak, as if being pulled back. We tried to open it, push it, even force it in. The lock gave way, but inside there was only a bed and a mirror on the floor, facing the wall. At that moment, the air seemed to change. Everything felt heavier, denser, as if the space itself were contracting. The sound of Julia's breathing started to fade until I couldn't hear her anymore. I told her, "We need to leave," but my lips moved with no sound at all. That's when I noticed my reflection. I and the mirror on the floor. Something was watching me. It wasn't me. The eyes were wrong, completely black. The figure moved its mouth, and even without sound, I understood what it said. "Sound is what keeps us here." We ran. I don't know how long we took to escape the house. When we crossed the gate, the sound of the wind, the birds, even our footsteps, felt deafening. But Julia didn't speak. She's been mute ever since. The doctors say there's no damage to her vocal cords, no physical trauma. But every time she steps into an enclosed space, she starts trembling. And when I dropped her off at home, I noticed something on the car window, a handprint, from the inside out, where no one had been sitting. I went back a week later. The house was gone. In its place, only an empty lot and a faint hum in the air, almost inaudible but constant. When I tried to record it, the audio was completely silent. In the spectrogram, there was only a sequence of symmetrical peaks, as if a voice was trapped inside the silence. At the end of the tape, a low whisper appears, almost imperceptible. "Now you hear it too." And since then, in some rooms of my house, when I speak, the sound simply doesn't come back.